Unmute. Start video. Hey, 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 welcome everybody to the first Monday Metaphysical live stream chat. So happy that you're here. We're going to have a ball tonight. Get your metaphysical questions ready and we're going to dive in. Now, when they're metaphysical questions, I won't be asking your team specifically because it's not about you personally. It's a question about the greater good, right? So be sure you word them that way and then they're kosher. Let's see. We got a nice little group going on here already in chat. Thank you guys. Glad you made it early. That helps a lot. So welcome, Alyssa, Jelly Beans. Great to have you back. Allison. Let's see. You're jumping around already. Beth and Bertha. Awesome. Welcome, you guys. So I'm just going to kind of tap dance a little bit to let a few more people get here before we actually dive in. Hi, Letty. Glad to see you. If you've been reading my month or my weekly newsletter, you know that I've been working on trance channeling. Oh my gosh, I had such a fabulous session today. Archangel Gabriel came through and took me on this journey through the chakras, connecting with Gaia, and it was just so powerful. I can't wait to share it with you. So as soon as I have a chance to process it and clean it up so that it's, for public consumption, I'm really excited to share it with you. So what I'll probably do is I'll just add an extra live sometime this month soon, hopefully. Oh, thank you, Bertha. I really appreciate that. Very sweet. Hey, Richard, Felicity, Kelly, and Jeannie from the high desert of Joshua Tree. Oh, yeah. Wonderful. Thanks for being here. All right, you guys. So let's see. What do we have that's metaphysical that I can dive in and start talking about? Allison, I think you're still working on redoing your question. Jelly Beans, you need a metaphysical kickstart. You've been so disconnected. You need to start to find your way back. Yeah, I hear you. And truly, the fastest way to do that is to carve out just that small amount of time. Do your meditating and connect. Because I just finished doing 21 days of the trance challenge that I set for myself. And now I'm continuing it because, I made some progress. I had a couple of really cool breakthroughs, but there's still way more to do. This is a huge shift for me. And I also told you in the newsletter about having a reading with Nancy Jean from Nancy Jean's Garden. If you don't know her, you should check her out. Oh my gosh, she knocked my socks off. It was so amazing. And she said that she can see that I'm going to be expanding the beings that I connect with. There's more wanting to come through. And I might have mentioned it to you. One of them is Divine Feminine, calling herself Irene. And when you Google the symbology of Irene, it's the goddess of peace. Mind blown. You can't make these things up. It's just so phenomenal. So I'm really excited to see where that's going to go. And I did get a cool message from Irene last night. So I'm getting these messages so fast. It's going to take me a while to process and get them all together and then share them with you, but they will be coming. So at some point, I'll get a group of people together and we'll play with some of these things because I want to do the group meditation with the message from Gabriel that going through the chakras, because that's just so phenomenal. I can't wait to experience with you how you experience it, if that makes sense. Because we all get this different. We're all in different places. That's the magic of it. And they're all important, our perceptions, because it's all pieces of the big puzzle that we're putting together as we're creating Earthtopia. So it's fan-freaking-tastic, you guys, and it's getting better every day. So Jilly, hang in there. Breathe, relax, allow, take those few minutes you need and connect with, whomever of the light wants to speak to you. And you might be surprised who shows up. Let's see. Okay, Allison, you're rewarded. Awesome. Okay. So it looks like Allison reworded question is the first one up. So let's tackle that and we'll see what shows up after. Oh, let me know, you guys, if the stream is okay, because it asked me to change the setting to low latency, which seems counterproductive, but I don't know. As long as it's coming through to you well, then we're good to go. But I took their word for it and their expertise and I changed it. So I'm hoping that that works. And it's not raining, so we should be good to go. But if by chance I disappear, know that it's because something happened with the power and I will come back as quickly as I can. But angels, keep us on the air tonight. All right. So where did you go, Allison? Allison, you're asking what are ley lines? You saw a tube of line with orbs. Inside there was an infrared security camera. Oh, inside on. You saw it on an infrared security camera. Okay. So ley lines are like the grid of the earth. So if you were to pull back and look at the earth through an energetic vision, you would see that there are these lines spaced out equally going, making these little squares all over the earth. And that's where the energy is flowing. So on Nancy Jean's channel, she's got a video there about ley lines. And one of the things that really caught my attention was she talked about her tree, Hogarth. And when you see Hogarth, he's got all these weird bumps all over him. And it looks like he's got some kind of a disease going on or, like tumors or something. That's what it kind of looks like. And she explained that if you've got ley lines under that tree, it causes it to get those weird formations, the energy of the ley lines underneath that tree, just it's surging up there. And so it's kind of bursting out in various places. And I had just seen a tree like that at the gardens in Hershey. So that really caught my attention. And it's like, okay, I can take a hint. You're trying to tell me she's the one I need to connect with because I had been feeling I needed to get a reading for a few weeks. And it's like, okay, that's the one. And oh, wow. And how was she? It was really phenomenal. So that's what ley lines are, Allison. Oh, if that makes sense to you. Thank you for the loving light, Richard. Okay, where are we at now? Hey, Daniel, glad you could make it. And Allison, the reworded question. When you hear a voice during the night with a message, is it an angel? Is it Metatron? Who might it be? Well, Metatron is an archangel, so that would fall into the same category, right? So who would it be? You can ask them, and if you're at the point of being able to hear, they will tell you who they are. Might not give you a name, but they might give you a clue. The important thing is that if it feels like it's of the light, that's the first thing you want to find out. What they said to you, how you felt, did it feel positive and uplifting? If it did, great. It's probably someone from your Akashic team. Now, that could be an angel, could be a guide, could be master, teacher, enlightened being, could even be a departed loved one. Any of those can come through to you. So you might want to engage with them in the conversation. And through that process, either they will share who they are or you will feel it. You'll just, from what they're saying, the way they're presenting it, it may start to feel familiar. And then you can put the two and two together. And if you don't figure it out right away, write the whole thing down in as much detail as you can, and then come back to it later. Because sometimes we get things ahead of time before we're really ready to understand and parse them out. So if that's the case, no worries, you'll figure out who it is in time. And of course, you can always ask someone like me. So you could come to the third Saturday where we do the personal questions and we could talk about that there. So I hope that helps. Bertha, you've been feeling so drained. Yeah. And no, you guys, that is a lot of light workers. I have been exhausted and sleeping a lot more than usual. It's, we had the eclipse, we had the solar flares, we had the full moon. All of these things were hitting in close conjunction with one another, plus the shifting of the planets. That I don't understand a whole lot about, but I've heard little bits and pieces of it. There's just a lot of shifting and reorganizing going on that affects those people who are energy sensitive. So if you're feeling extra exhausted and there's nothing physically wrong with you that you're aware of, it's probably all that energy. So just give yourself the extra time to rest. It's okay. You need it. You need to do that self-care. Also, though, at the same time, add in some extra meditation because that will help you to revive. Now, on my YouTube channel, there's a meditation that's called, oh gosh, what's it called? Vital force energy infusion. Get that one, do that one, because that will re-energize, fill you up, filling you to overflowing. That can be the difference between getting through your days and being yourself, as opposed to just, being flat out and not able to function well. So it's a really, really important meditation. You know, bookmark it and come back to it often, because it's was given to us by the angels for this kind of a purpose whenever we need a refill. So reboot, reload, rejuvenate, get back out there and be the amazing light worker that you're here to be. Oh, there's a message here that says, let's celebrate the 20th super on a live stream. Okay. Wahoo! The 20th super. And that's you, Jilly Beans. Thank you. What fun they're giving us, right? So, Jilly, you've worked with Gabriel a lot. Awesome. And what Nancy Jean told me is that he's very connected with Gaia and with being grounded and helping us to be grounded. So that's why he's stepping up for me right now, because I'm doing more of the grounded work with Gaia and the divine feminine. So if you're feeling drawn to him, yeah, go get as much as you need. You've been seeing a lot of hawks, Richard. So, is there a hawk with a message for the collective? Let's just ask about that. So, hawk, is there something you want to share with us? Maybe you can enlighten us about all the shifts that are going on. Hawk, hawk, what would you like to say? Yes, as we soar high above, we see everything down below. We see it in the big picture. And then we zoom in to get the details so that we can understand how those two mesh together. We have that ability, and it's part of our service to humanity. So when you see us showing up in your world, we are trying to convey to you that there is a message waiting to come through. So you may meditate, get quiet, ask us to come in and deliver how this personally affects you, or you may ask for a message for the greater good. It's there. We see so much and we are happy to share it. Okay, Hawk, so what is the message, the specific message for the collective tonight? What would that be? Yeah, now is the time to keep your eyes open, everybody. Don't get caught snoozing. Now, that's funny because we just talked about needing extra sleep, but purposeful sleep is different. So don't get caught in that kind of an unconscious state where you're not being alert. You want to be alert, aware, ready to act the moment you receive a message from the hawks or from your angels, or whomever from divine is speaking to you. And that can come through in those synchronicities, those coincidences, the repeating numbers. Maybe special colors will show up for you, whatever it is. That's a message coming through. So stop, Google whatever symbols are showing up for you, dig deep, find out what it means, write it down, put the pieces together, because there's a greater message waiting to be revealed. So that's there for you. What we're seeing now is the imminent need for light workers to be on their guard, listening with ears to the ground for the messages that are coming through. Sometimes they're only whispered, but they are coming through consistently, because right now your challenge is greater than it has been. The dark forces are amping up their efforts. That's true, has been true. It's more true in May, probably will be more true in the future. So it's incumbent upon you to keep that in mind, not to be afraid, because you've got this, you've got what you need to get through, but being aware, being ready to act quickly when you're inspired by your team to act quickly. So keep your eyes open, watch what's going on, write it down so you don't forget, because sometimes you'll get really important bits and pieces that don't make sense at the time. But then after a while, when you fly back up to get the big picture, you will see how those pieces fit together like a puzzle, and the message will be revealed. So that's what it's about, Richard. And you might also see other birds of prey. You know, vultures have been coming around a lot too, making themselves known. So the birds have really been on their toes. Crows and blackbirds, a lot of those are very active right now, a lot of bird activity. So the birds are always coming ahead of things to call the warning that something is coming. Be aware. Take whatever appropriate action you feel needs to be taken. So I hope that makes sense. Beth, you feel you're being led to play a big part in ET contact. Yes, Beth, a lot of people are. So to make this metaphysical, it's for everybody, not just for you. Lots of people are reporting feeling that connection with the ETs. So if you're drawn to them, then lean into it and ask your angels to help you with it. Mostly don't be afraid. Be curious, inquire. And again, write it all down because if you don't, you're going to miss vital pieces of the message that might have been the exact clue you needed to put it all together and understand the message. But it will just keep coming. So watch for it, be prepared when it comes, take action, and have fun with it. Make it playful because the ETs that are here connecting with us right now are here to help. They're not here to harm. They're only here to help. They can't interfere with our free will any more than the divine beings can, but they can assist. They can give us little tidbits, little nudges. And it's possible some of those ETs are from your home planet. If you're a starseed, and you probably all here tonight are starseeds, or you wouldn't care about this stuff because the Earthers don't care about this stuff. They're way too grounded. So if you're seeing them, maybe investigate, find out whether they're coming from your home planet and what is it they want to share with you. So all of those things can be possible. So be playful and let us know how it goes. Bertha, I'm not doing personal, so I will ask if there's a message from Archangel Raphael for all of the mothers. Or are you saying Mother Mary? I'm not sure what you're saying. Well, I'll just ask them both. So, Archangel Raphael or Mother Mary, is there a message that you would like to share as we approach Mother's Day? Yeah, Raphael. He's saying, lighten up, babe. Have a good time. Because Raphael is all about the lightness and cracking jokes, and having a good time. Moms, you work so hard. Give yourself a break. Love yourself, please, moms, because you deserve it. You've earned it. It's yours. Give yourself that love because it comes from your creator, flowing to you unceasingly. And if you're not feeling that, then please take the time, open up, and allow it to flow to you unceasingly, to warm you up, to enliven you, to encourage you, to support you, because you are so overburdened some of the time, most of the time, if we're honest, right? And you need that extra support. So take it. Don't push it away saying, oh, I'm good. You help somebody else. No, that is false pride. And that is also your ego, your self-esteem saying, you don't really need it. Somebody else more deserving needs it. Bullshit, we say. Not true. There's more than enough to go around for everybody. Don't you push aside your portion. You take your portion. You need it. Shore yourself up. Strengthen yourself. Get that backbone up. Be more fully you than you've ever been before so that you can help others more. You can't help others if you allow yourself to be weakened, taken advantage of, walked all over. No, those days are gone, baby. Time to stand up and be the authority in your life, the sovereign soul you came here to be. And of course, that's true for everybody, not just moms, but right now specifically, that message is going out to moms. So, hey, moms, if you get the message and you implement it, then you'll be able to help the others do so. You can teach them what you've learned. So there you go, moms, a special assignment for you. Okay, cool. You can't make it up. That's true, Jelly. It's so wacky and wild, right? They astonish me on a daily basis with the stuff that comes through. And guess what? It's going to keep happening. It's going to keep expanding because, oh my gosh, we've not seen anything yet. There's so much more to come. Bertha says it's good. Awesome. You jumped. Hang on. There you are. Almisha, I'm not doing personal questions, so if it's something specific about your healing, come on the third Saturday. I'll put the Zoom link in your newsletter. It comes every Sunday. And if you're not on my mailing list, then go to debralupien.com, sign up for my VIP list so that you can get that Zoom link, and then we can talk about your personal healing. I don't know how I can word that right now to make it a message for everybody. And it sounds like it's really important that you get a personal message. So let's do that. Meanwhile, if you've got a metaphysical question, please put it in there. Jilly, it sounds awesome doing a meditation with Gabriel and the chakras. Yeah. It's like knock your socks off. Awesome. Just wow. I was just kind of stunned at the end of it. So much to absorb. Allison, that tube of light was a foot wide, came down to the ground with orbs. So that wouldn't be a ley line. That would be, some other occurrence. It could be the ETs, could be something else. Um, Hopefully you're getting a clue based on some of the things we've talked about. And if you're not, like I said, you can always bring those questions on the third Saturday. Amanda, do other versions of us exist in parallel realities? How many versions? And yeah, use you as an example if the question is too broad. I'll ask and see what they have to say. It's a complicated question. So, angels, is it true that there are multiple versions of us existing in other places simultaneously? Is that true? I got a no on that. I know a lot of people believe it's true. Last time I asked, I got a no too. So then how many doesn't matter? No, we're just this one version of ourselves. Now, the clarification on that is that we are us alone in this lifetime having this experience, but simultaneously, because timelines are not linear, those other versions of us from different lifetimes are still layered like a cake. And those are all going on at the same time, but it's not like a different version in this same lifetime. Oh my gosh, I hope this is making sense, you guys. So it's like you incarnate into one body, and that's all you're doing for this lifetime. But those other lifetimes that you've had are still all out there in the field, and they're layered over. So they're happening all at the same time, which honestly and truly, you guys, that kind of blows my mind. So I don't think about it a whole lot because it gives me a headache. I don't care. I can only deal with this lifetime right now, and that's where the focus goes. So you do you, and I'll do me, and we'll meet somewhere along the way. But it's a great question. Felicity, lots of bird visitations, especially from the fantail, flying into the house. So, yeah, I did a message just a little bit ago from the birds, Felicity. So, when you get a chance, if you go back and listen to the earlier part, we talked about messages from hawks and a whole bunch of other birds, and that all of the bird kingdom right now is stirred up, sharing messages with us because there's something coming big. We've gotten glimpses of it, but we don't have the whole picture yet. And of course, a part of that is Earthtopia, but it's all the stuff that happens in between. And so the birds come to be the early alert, letting us know, hey, people, wake up, be conscious, pay attention, because some of these things are going to require extra or specific action on your part to deal with them, to keep yourself in alignment. So that's what's going on with the birds. And if they're actually flying into the house, then that's really an emphasis on that message, right? There might be something more on a personal level, but it's just really emphasizing that the birds are saying, stay alert right now. So just be more alert, watch for those signs. And sometimes they'll be so subtle, like a whisper. So you really have to be on your toes right now. But those messages will keep coming to help you through whatever's going to come. Mark Diana, you're a newbie? Are there limitations in the distance that Reiki can be performed, or is it just about intention? And you sending it to as many people, places, or situations. What I understand about Reiki, and this is for everybody, it's not limited, it's energy. Energy is limitless. Remember that. So you set your intentions about where it's going to go, what it's going to do, and it can do that. But it's all about your energy, your intention, and your focus. Focus is equally important in that equation. So you get those three things right, you put it out there, and then I would ask the angels to carry it on angels' wings to make sure that it arrives where you intended it to arrive. Give it a boost. You can do that. You can ask for all sorts of things to help you amp up your power to be more effective. So play with that and see how it feels. Thank you, Kelly. Exactly right. Only limitations are what we believe are limitations. So let's let go of all limitations. We are unlimited beings, and Creator is calling on us right now to step out of those old limitations to be more of who we came here to be. You're exhausted emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Yeah, a lot of people are right now, Jilly. This is the time when you feel that. Just stop what you're doing and do the self-care. Everybody needs to get this message. It's so important right now. Because if you don't stop, do the self-care, you're going to burn yourself out. You're not going to be as effective as you desire to be. So you're going to miss out on some of those opportunities. Do that self-care. It is the most important thing you can do. It strengthens you, it prepares you. So definitely grab that vital force energy infusion. That'll give you a boost, but don't neglect the self-care. Even if it's only 15 minutes a day, something is better than nothing. Feel your way through it. What feels best to you? What is your body telling you that it needs? So everybody, tune in, ask the question. When you get the answer, then honor it. Now, about getting the answer. You may just feel like you hear a whisper. You may feel like something from your heart chakra internally is saying, yeah, do this. And you might dismiss it because you think it's your ego talking. Don't dismiss it. You asked the question. So whatever answer you get in whatever form you get, that is the answer. Take it. Take action on it. And then watch what happens. More and more and more, it's watching for that subtleness, listening, taking action. That's going to be vitally important as you move forward because the angels don't whop you on the head unless you've been ignoring them forever and your life is in danger. They are very subtle with their messages. So it's up to us to tune in that frequency so that we can get the message, take action sooner. But ask ego to go sit down, take a seat, let you work with soul because soul is ready to soar. Letty's asking, what happens if you're meditating and you're feeling physical symptoms, negative physical symptoms like, throbbing and headache and upset like that, pressure? It varies, Letty. It could be they're asking, because this is for everybody, it could be they're asking you to do it in a different way. Could be, the energy I'm feeling is like the child clamping down, pushing too hard. No, you don't want to be into forcing or efforting. No efforting with this. It's flow and ease. So you want to be in the flow. You want to feel that lightness, even steady breathing. And maybe you listen to a music soundtrack if you haven't already been doing that. Sometimes that can make a big difference in helping you to relax and flow rather than effort. So anytime you are setting out to meditate and you feel that you're trying to push, force, make something happen, you might as well stop. You're not going to get anywhere that way except somewhere you don't want to be. You want to be in that open, flowing, accepting, loving energy with positive intentions, connecting with your angels. And that's light as a feather when you do that. So focus on being lighter. And I'm expecting the physical symptoms might just fade away. That's the picture I got. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Energy plus high stress. Well, here's the thing about high stress, you guys. When you're feeling stress, know that you've done that to yourself and you can undo it to yourself. So the stress is coming because usually you've told yourself you've got to do this or you've got to be that. And it's pushing, it's efforting, it's forcing. Don't want to be in that energy anymore. That's the old way of being. We have ascended now past that. So it's time to let that go. And the things that are stressing you out, make a list. How many of those things do you actually have to be concerned about or take action on? If you were going to die next week, how many of them would be important? Cross off all the ones that aren't important, only focus on the ones that are. You're doing that to yourself. Now, here's an example. I can make myself crazy saying, I've got to get this many meditations out during a week, or I've got to get this many videos or this many stories. And then I feel the stress and I know, wrong answer. So then I step back and I say, is it really true? that I have to make 3 videos a week? Well, yeah, it's kind of true if I don't want the YouTube algorithm to stop sending people to me. But I don't need to worry about that because I got the angels on my side. Let them worry about that. I'm not going to worry about that. So when I take that away, it's like, no, I really don't have to get 3 videos out this week, especially if it's going to cause me stress or take me away from my meditations or take me away from the things that are a higher spiritual priority. So it's really reevaluating your life bit by bit. Some time back, I had a reading with another reader, and I was telling her, I'm feeling all this stress. I'm feeling I've got to do all these things, and I feel that pressure of the mission that I've got here. And this person looked at me and shook their head and said, "You created that reality." And it was like, oh my gosh, load of bricks fell on me. Yeah, I really did. Because I'm telling myself all these things that are not true. So then when you take that attitude, it's okay. Is it really true? If it's not true, then discard it. Don't hold on to it. Don't force yourself. Don't make yourself nuts. Let it go. Get back in the flow. Anytime you notice you're not in flow, you're stressing. That is a big flashing alarm klaxon going off saying, hey, pay attention. You're creating this disharmony, this awful energy that's going to drag you down and make you sick. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Get back into flow. Only do that which makes your heart light and joyful. Some things, yeah, there's an obligation from, the world that you have to do it, but maybe you could do it in a different way, a different time. Just re-examine everything, question everything about how you do it, when you do it, what you do. So this is like upsetting the apple cart for our own good, reevaluating everything and only putting back in that apple cart what you need, what benefits you, and it benefits others by extension. So the prime objective is what benefits you. When you do what benefits you, that shifts your energy so that by extension, it benefits others. And that is the most empowered way to be. So let go of all that stress. Rethink the stuff you think you have to do. Don't. What'll happen if you don't do it? Probably nothing. So cross it off your list and stop stressing about it. So chew on that for a bit and see what you can do with it. Thank you, Allison. That's so sweet. I appreciate that. And that message says, let's celebrate the first super on a live stream. I don't know if that must mean from you, Allison, because there were others before. This is new. I've not gotten these messages before, so yeah, your guess is as good as mine. Jilly, so I'm seeing Gabriel as a man. You did a lot of healing of childhood wounds with Gabriel. I do see Gabriel as a man, but that doesn't mean you can't see Gabriel as a female. Some people talk to Gabrielle. I tend to see more of them as male because I didn't have a strong father figure. So I've always looked at the deity as a male energy. That doesn't mean it won't change somewhere down the line. And also, of course, there's the thing that, now I'm working with divine feminine. So that's definitely feminine energy. And here's the funny thing. I don't know if I told you this story or not. When I went to the Edgar Cayce Center to take that trance channel course, we were doing this meditation and we were to ask who would be our guides in this journey of learning to trance channel. I got Raziel and Gabriel. And then I got Barbara Stanwyck. If any of you are old enough to remember Barbara Stanwyck in the Big Valley, that's how she showed up in that black leather hat with the black vest and the black skirt and her black boots. And she just came marching up to me with all this authority, no nonsense, mama taking care of business. And then she kind of had this twinkle in her eye, and I could see, oh, there's the compassionate side. There is the other side of the coin. And then after I finished the meditation, it blocked into my head. That was what divine feminine showed herself to me as. So now when I see divine feminine, she looks like Barbara Stanwyck, but she's calling herself Irene. You figure it out. I don't know. But the Irene was very meaningful, so I'm taking that. And I believe the reason it was shown to me as Barbara Stanwyck was because I could recognize the qualities of that personality, and then I could interpret that was the energy that Divine Feminine is bringing forward. It, you know, unraveling these things and figuring them out is sometimes a real job, and it's a little complicated, but go with what feels right to you. And if it's not right, you'll get more clues and you'll untangle it and you'll get more from it. But, so for me right now, most of them come through with the male energy. And yet I'm getting all this divine feminine stuff. So maybe balance is coming in. I don't know. I'm just on this ride to see what comes next. And I'm sharing it with you as I go because it's fun. And we're all in this big boat together. Okay, so Mike K, glad to see you. I'm not doing personal questions, Mike. I'm only doing metaphysical. So maybe you can give me something metaphysical that you've been curious about, and we'll do that. Thank you for all the emojis, Bertha. Jilly, you're seeing repeating numbers crazy every day and you're writing them down. Yeah, everybody is. It's not just you. And repeatedly, it's crazy. I was getting so many repeating numbers. I'm getting 222 and 555. And then sometimes weird things like 1212 will come in, or even other combinations of numbers. But what happens is you're doing something and all of a sudden your eye will fall on the clock or it will fall on a sign, and it's just a split second you see it. But you feel something, maybe in your solar plexus, maybe just in your throat, but you'll feel just a very subtle something. That is a number to pay attention to, no matter if it's sequential or not. There's something about that number. So, yeah, write it down. Go Google what is the symbology of that number. I like to use the website, it's Sacred Scribes and Angels, and they've got a lot of really great things there up to, really high numbers. So it's a great site to use. I just saw spinning, so I'm hoping my signal is okay, you guys. Oh, and I see, you see that funny thing with my shirt turning colors? When you use a green screen, you don't want to wear blue because it recognizes blue as being the green background. And then what is it doing? It's putting the background into my shirt. Earlier, I had blue glasses on. I had to take them off because it was doing these really wacky things with the lenses. And then I thought I'd solved the problem, but apparently not because I see my shirt is changing. So anybody who was wondering, that's what that is. If I turn it off, it makes this green shadow around my hair. And I think I'd rather have the weird shirt than the green shadow around my hair, but that's just me. Okay, and you also had hummingbirds. Yeah, same thing, Jilly. But I would look up the symbology of hummingbirds because they bring something specific. So when you guys are seeing those birds, whatever they are, if it's one that you don't normally see and you haven't already looked up, then go look it up and see what all the clues are that you can find. Write that down, keep it all together somewhere because at some point you're going to knit those pieces together and you're going to get the bigger picture and you're going to go, oh my God, I can't believe that was there in front of me all the time and I didn't see it. But you don't until you get the right pieces to see it. So meanwhile, you just keep moving on with what feels good in faith and trust that the bigger picture will be revealed to you at the right time because it will. Valerie, sorry, I'm not doing personal questions. Come on the third Saturday. There we go on Zoom, and I can do personal questions when I can see you and connect with you better. But what you can do is pop on down there and give me a metaphysical question. I'm happy to answer those. Anything you've been curious about in the metaphysical world, all of that is game for tonight. Bertha, you want to know about checking out the chakra meditation? I haven't posted it yet. I just got it today. And a few days ago, I got another one that was also a whopper. So when that happens, I've got to find the time to go back, process it myself energetically, and then clean it up because it doesn't come through. I'm speaking what I'm seeing, feeling, hearing, et cetera, et cetera. So I've got to clean that up, make sure it makes sense. Then I either record it and upload it for you guys, or in this case of the one from Gabriel today, I'm going to do that as a live stream. I want you guys all to come on with me. I will take you through it live. And then when we finish the meditation, then I want you to get in there and chat and tell me what your experience was like. Let's share it to the hilt and see what the different perspectives are that come out of it, because I think that will be fascinating. So as soon as if I've got that ready, I will let you know. It might take me a little bit of time because I've got so much coming through right now. I'm, dancing on the head of a pin trying to keep up. At the same time, because we talked about this earlier, not trying not to get overwhelmed, making space for my own fun and relaxation because, I tend to be a workaholic and I can be doing this constantly, which makes me less effective. And I want to be as effective as I can be. So I've got to get more disciplined. My plan is tomorrow to go for a drive with my laptop and try and do some meditating and some writing out in nature somewhere, wherever I can find, if it's warm enough. It hasn't been warm enough, but if it's warm enough, that's my plan tomorrow. And I'll be really curious to see how that shifts things for me because you may or may not know, my husband retired 2 years ago, and we have a little house. His energy is not conducive to this kind of work. Nothing against him. It's just an incongruence. But I need space. So right now he runs most every day for 2 hours. So I've got that 2 hour window to dive in. And then that kind of puts, a rush and a heavy energy on it, which is also not the best for what I want to do. But the angels are helping with filling the gaps. So I'm still managing. But I'm trying to find my way through a place where I can carve out the space to do that and then live my life and have fun around it and spend some time with my husband because he'd kind of like a piece of me too. So I realize how that sounds. I didn't mean it that way. Hit me after I said it, Oh well, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, just be patient, Bertha. It is coming. Now, in the meantime, Bertha, on my YouTube channel, there is a whole playlist of meditations, and there is a chakra meditation on there that's pretty cool. I think that one had like this big ball of flaming energy going through your body, one chakra at a time. And that was pretty cool. So go check those meditations out. There's already a whole bunch of them. And if you love meditations, go to Amazon and grab my book, a little book of meditations. That is 18 meditations that were angel downloads. And each one of them were specifically chosen by Metatron to go into that book. So there's a reason they're all there. And 18 is a prominent spiritual number of great significance. I'm not remembering what it is right now, but there was a reason it was 18. So Metatron planned all of that, unbeknownst to me, because I was just collecting meditations. So that is on Amazon. The purpose of that book is so that you can read the meditation, absorb it, and then use the link in the book to go listen to the audio, because I've recorded them all as audio. But I want you to read them first, because when you do a new meditation, you get so caught up in the, oh, what's coming next energy that you don't get the most out of it. So the purpose of this is you read it, you know what's going to happen, and that way when you listen to it, you can just relax, take it a step at a time, and you will get the maximum benefit out of it. And there's some pretty phenomenal stuff in that book. So check out Little Book of Meditations. Oh, Kelly, you're talking about my shirt. Yeah. Thank you for pointing that out because I'm sure people were wondering, and hopefully now it makes sense when I explained what it's doing. I used to get that all the time before I had a green screen. It's something to do with the way Zoom draws the backgrounds, but it can be fun if you get the right combination. So the trick is, I select these backgrounds to go with the feeling and the energy of whatever it is that I'm going to be doing on that live stream. And then it's not always easy to find something to wear that goes with it and doesn't look weird. So I wasn't even thinking about this being blue and how it might convert with the green screen. And by the time I realized that, it was too late to change. So this is what we get. A little extra fun. But if you guys do your own lives, remember that about green screens. Green or blue will either disappear or they will turn into the background. It can be fun. One time early on, I forget what I was wearing, but that function at that time was, not quite as sophisticated as is now. I was a head. I was a talking head. Everything from your down disappeared. And it just so happened it was a Halloween message. So that was like 3 or 4 years ago for Halloween. And so how cool is that? I could show up as this talking head for Halloween. So you just never know what you're going to get. You go with the flow and have fun. Thank you, Allison. Yeah, it's just adding more fun to the gathering. Jilly, you love that Raphael has been around a lot lately. He will, and he brings the fun and the relaxation. So let him share that energy with you, help you to let go of the stress and get into the fun and the play. Because, oh my gosh, he is such a wisecracker. Sometimes he'll show up like the literally chewing the gum, smacking the gum, and making the sarcastic remarks. Oh my gosh, he's a hoot. So enjoy that energy. That's what you're needing right now. So more of that. Amanda, the parallel life stuff made sense. Oh, I'm so glad because, oh my gosh, what a topic that is. And, we can keep asking questions. You keep formulating questions, and we will keep diving into that water until we get our satisfaction. We can always do that because sometimes I'll get, bam, there it is. That's all the information. And sometimes I only get just a little bit, probably because that's what we were ready for. They give us whatever we're ready for. So we'll just keep going back to the well and asking for more until we get everything we want. Jeannie, animal companions need our help to deal with the current energetic changes, or do they have the ability to do that? They have the ability to do that. They have been wired with what they need, but they can help us and we can help them. Of course, there's no reason not to do that. But yeah, the animals come with their own set of tools and wisdom. They're far more open and connected to it than we are from the get-go. They just always have been. They don't forget everything like we do when we incarnate. And their souls are different from ours, the way that they're wired, but they do have souls. They're just different. So, yeah, I don't know where else to go with that. But they're good, and we can learn from them the way that they encounter and deal with these challenges. They're so often in the flow. If you watch them, I'm thinking of cows. For whatever reason, I'm getting visuals of cows. And if you think about cows, they're just out there chewing their cud, relaxing. They rarely get upset about anything unless something comes along and, spooks the herd. But they're just very docile, sweet, energetic beings. And if you've never been licked by a cow, I highly recommend it. It's like a piece of sandpaper on your skin, but it's so sweet that they want to lick you. They're just so gentle and so beautiful. So yeah, go hug a cow. They're lovely beings. Yeah, I think so, Amanda. It looks like we got plenty of time. Yeah. So, how does the moon cycle relate to female reproductive cycles? You once heard Bashar say that disconnection from the moon caused women to lose the ability to control their cycles. Wow, I didn't hear that, but let's see. So, first of all, is it true that women being disconnected, I guess energetically, lose the ability to control their cycles? Is that true? I get a yes on that. Okay. And can you speak to how the moon affects the reproductive cycle? Well, for those women who are not energetically balanced, who have health issues, they're going to be more susceptible to the shifts, the energetic shifts of the moon. That can cause them to have wildly varying negative effects with their cycles. And most of us know what that means. When they're more energetically balanced, they're going to be less susceptible. Doesn't mean they won't get some effects, but it will be less severe than their sisters who are already in a compromised energy state. They're just more susceptible to that. So, all right. So, can you explain a little more about what Bashar said? Because that's just not clear to me. How is it that the moon is doing that? Is it about The moon being feminine? Okay. Oh, I just got this picture. Tides. Women's cycles and tides flow, right? There's something connected to that. So the moon has the ability to affect flow in women and in the tide. That's really deep. Anything else you want to say about that? Yeah, so have, many people have disconnected from Earth. They're not grounded. They're not tuned in spiritually. They're very closed down. So when that happens, they're less able to shift and flow as the earth, the moon, the sun, all of those things shift. They're more rigid. You know, the analogy about trees have to bend so they don't break. So some of them are so rigid that it can cause them to metaphorically break. That energy can affect them negatively in that way. And what's really fascinating about this is just yesterday, I saw a video. You might want to write this down. It's on, the channel name is Exploring the Mystical Side, and it's about holographic work. It's about reconnecting to our bodies in a more awakened way. And the example that was used was, if you try to lift your middle finger by itself, you can do that, right? We have that connection with our hands where we can, most of it, we can move it independently. But if you try to do that with your middle toe, most people can't do that because we have disconnected with that part of our body. And, it's a complete issue. So what this guy is doing is he's helping people. I think it's based on, like, Chinese and Asian modalities, Qigong and things like that, getting back in touch with all of the bits and pieces so that we can control them independently in addition to as a whole. So check that video out. I think you'll really get a lot out of it. And he's got a free webinar coming up Wednesday night. So if you go to the website from that YouTube video, oh gosh, I just lost it. Exploring the Mystical Side. If you see that, you listen and look in the description. There's a link to his website. You can go sign up for that webinar on Wednesday where he's going to walk people through that. So I think that's going to be fascinating. I'm going to be there. So maybe I'll see you there. So hopefully that answers your question, Amanda. Let me know. C'est la vie. I'm not doing personal questions tonight. I'm sorry, C'est la vie. I'm only doing those on the third Saturday on Zoom. So please, if you're not already on my newsletter, please sign up for it. Go to DebraLupien.com. Be sure you use 2 B's or you won't find it. And sign up for my VIP list so I can send you that Zoom link. You can join us. Then I can see your beautiful face and I can give you a fuller, more complete reading. It's a little more challenging doing it like this. So that's why this is just a general thing. And also, C'est la vie, go back. If you can reword that to make it a group metaphysical question, or if you want to ask me something else metaphysical, please do, because I want to answer your question. But I set the rules here that it's only metaphysical, and to be in integrity, I have to maintain that. I let it slip for too long and people were getting upset. So it was time to bring down the hammer, say, let's stick to the rules and do it the way it was set out to do. And, one day that may change. I might morph it into something else. But for right now, that's what we're doing. So thank you for understanding. Oh, Jilly, you're so welcome. It's somebody else's stress. Oh, please don't do that. Yeah, that is self-torture when you think about it, right? And why would you do that to yourself? No. I just had a conversation with a dear friend yesterday about how her sister, her younger sister even, leans on her to be her transportation because she's afraid to drive. Well, you know what? Too effing bad. That's enabling her to become more and more dependent. In doing this, first of all, it's enabling her, so it's going to get worse. But second of all, it's debilitating my friend because she's got her own health issues and it's incredibly taxing on her to do that. But she's one of those people who gives and gives and gives and doesn't really receive for herself. Huge, huge lesson for the women of the world. We have to stop doing that. We're killing ourselves doing that. Inch by inch, we're killing ourselves. Got to stop it. Take care of you. You are the most important concern. You are here with a plan to live this life. You've got a lot to accomplish. And if you keep giving yourself away, death by 1,000 cuts, sacrificing for other people, you're going to get to the end and you're going to have so much regret that you did not accomplish what you came here to do. So please give yourself that gift. And I know it's not easy, been there, done that, but one step at a time, you can do it. And if you need help, you reach out and ask. We will all be here to support you. Yeah, thank you for the hearts. Teresa, hey. Again, I'm not doing personal, so please give me a metaphysical question, and I'm happy to answer that. Allison, ringing in the ears, different tones, volume, left or right, make a difference in the purpose. Is it DNA changes? I'll ask for specificity, but we've talked about this before. It's so many light workers are experiencing it right now as they go through ascension because our DNA has been going through this process of being rewritten, literally rewritten energetically for a few years now. It's been a while this is going on. And one of the ways it manifests physically is the ringing in the ears. Now, that doesn't mean it's not a physical symptom. You could really have tinnitus. A lot of people do. But if it comes and goes, it's possible that it's this energetic thing. So you can ask your angels. You can ask them to make it go away entirely, tone it down, make it more comfortable, whatever you feel led to do. I've had it since the 80s because I was diagnosed with Meniere's disease, and that's one of the symptoms. So it was hard for me to sort out whether this is, something to do with ascension or whether it's a wholly physical thing. And had I been awakened back then, maybe I wouldn't have had the symptoms all these years. I don't know. But it's there. Mostly I don't hear it because I've just learned to tune it out. So you can do that as well. But for some, it really is a message. And that's going to vary person to person. So it's not like I can say definitively what it is. So for each of us, when we have that, it's about go into your heart chakra, go into your solar plexus, whichever you feel comfortable, go into your crown chakra. Connect with one of your chakras that resonates for you with that ringing. And then ask for information, ask for help, ask your body to respond to you. Talk to your body. It is your skin suit, it's your support system, it's the cocoon that houses your beautiful, dynamic soul. And it does have things to say. It has opinions. So if we listen to our body, we can get a lot of insight about what's going on. So that's where I would start, is talking to your body. So is there anything else that you want to add about the tinnitus, just in general, that you can share with us? Yeah, it is an affliction for some, to be sure. It drives them crazy. Some, the answer will be talking to their body. For some, it will be just temporary as their body adjusts to the higher frequency. So try all of those things one at a time to see which one is the answer for you. And if none of them work, then come back to the well and ask for more answers, because you might be an exception to the rule that needs some other answer. And that's why they're encouraging us to keep coming back to the well, asking, asking, asking until you get what you need, because it's unlimited. It's there for you forever and ever. Jilly, you so needed to hear it. Redirecting your life. A hard hit to the gut. Oh, I feel that. Yeah. Much love to you. Love and light. Let those angels just embrace you. Give you that healing energy and the support that you need to stay strong, to not fall back into old patterns. Now, having said that, habits are challenging to break, right? So be kind to yourself. If you find you're slipping back into those old patterns, make a note of it the moment you notice, shift out of that energy again, keep going. Every time you notice, take new action to get back into the flow, to let go of that old pattern. The more often and the sooner you do it, the faster you will break out of that old pattern and you will feel so much better. But baby steps are perfect, and be kind and gracious to yourself. And some see Gabriel as female, but always male to you. Yeah, they don't care. Most of the angels, and maybe all, I'm not sure, are not really gendered. They can be either or both. I have seen some that are both at the same time, which is really funky. But, they show up in the way that is meaningful to you. And that's what's important. They do backflips, they twist themselves inside out, whatever we need to serve us, because that is their purpose. And it's just such a lovely gift. So we accept it the way it comes, celebrate it, and just enjoy it. Because I know there was a time that we weren't connected. We didn't have conscious connection with our angels. Oh my gosh, I would never go back to that for anything in the world. It's just unthinkable. You'll love it. Awesome. Hey, Tammy. Bertha, me too. Awesome. Teresa, you missed the announcement. That's okay. I'll just keep throwing it out there whenever I need to. Eventually, everybody will get the message and then we won't have to say it anymore. But meanwhile, we just keep going. Bertha, you've been seeing sky pastel, pink and green when you ask for Mother Mary's protection. Well, that makes perfect sense. And maybe others are seeing that too, because what is pink and green? That's the heart chakra. What is Mother Mary? Love. It's perfect. And isn't it interesting that she's choosing to show you those colors because they're symbolically significant? It's something you can recognize. So that's awesome. She's sending love to the world because we need it right now. Bushels and bushels of love in pink and green hues. So thank you, Mother Mary. Letty, why does the atmosphere in the sky seem eerie, like from a different reality? Oh, great question. So you guys, what do you have to say about that? Why? Why does it sometimes look so eerie? What's going on with that? Just as you have a personality, so too do the clouds and the atmosphere have a personality. They have a sense of humor. They like to be playful. They like to change things up. They have moods and their colors reflect their moods. It's all of that bundled into one. Never thought about clouds that way or the atmosphere that way. That's really interesting. Thank you for that question, Letty. You see why we need to keep asking metaphysical questions? We can discover the most amazing things. And who knows where that will lead? Now that we understand that, what doors does that open? What questions does that answer that might cause that person out there who's maybe a scientist about to have some big breakthrough? And this is what they were waiting for, to have that breakthrough. We don't know. Ripples in the pond. So when we all come together and we inquire, we try to learn and share. It has this massive impact that we may never even consciously know about, but it's happening nonetheless. Feel that power. Feel how you can impact the world on a grand scale with just a small effort. So that's why I'm so grateful to all of you for showing up, because we get to do this together. And with more energies combined with different perspectives, we can expand it even further, because what doesn't occur to one might occur to another, and then we share it. We all expand together. That's the marvel of this community. So grateful for every one of you being here. Kelly, you think of energies as male, maybe because your soul is male. Could be. Yeah. Or it could also be that that's what you need to feel the confidence. Maybe you're at a place where the feminine side would not have as much authority for you. Could be any number of things, but really it doesn't matter. It's just whatever comes, you accept it and you flow with it. Lots of flow and enjoyment. Have fun. Bertha, you love to call in Metatron. Yeah. Oh, he's just such a doll, isn't he? He loves us so much, and that love is so palpable. It's like, how can you not smile and feel good when Metatron is hanging around? I mean, he'll go zippity-doo-dah skipping down the road with you if that's what you want, to serve your needs, to help you feel more loved, have more fun. Whatever it is you need, he's going to bring it on a silver platter. He's just that kind of an angel. Jeannie, you love the answer about the animals. I'm so glad. Allison, tides, flow, gravity. You're asking it as a question, so I'm not sure what the question is. So, put it in and be down below for me, please, and I'll inquire some more. But I just got that visual. The tide, the red flow of the women, they're both impacted by the moon, the energies of the moon. There's a connection there. And I'm not getting more than that right now, but if you can formulate a question, that might allow me to connect to what I need to get more information for you. Thank you, John. I really appreciate that. My #1 fan. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. Ah, old guy. Okay. Thank you, old guy. I so appreciate you being here. Thank you, Kelly. That is so sweet. I appreciate that. The third super on this live stream. Yay. Let's celebrate. Awesome. Thank you. You guys, I haven't mentioned this to you before, but one of the things my heart is calling me to do is a fundraiser for childhood cancer, specifically brain cancer, based upon an experience I had with this little 10-year-old boy who was diagnosed at 5 and was dead at 10. He made such a deep imprint on my life and the life of many other people. He was this incredible being, and I only knew him and his mom through Facebook. I never met them. We had horses in common, so we were friends on Facebook. We shared about the horses. I feel like I know them. Many years we connected that way. When he crossed over, I went into meditation to check on him, and I got the most profound message and vision of how he crossed over and what he experienced. I'll just give you the little piece of it because I don't want to go too deep into it right now. But Jesus and all these children and animals met him at the gates, welcomed him in. They threw a parade in his honor. He was the Grand Marshal. He and Jesus were sitting on the back of a red convertible as the Grand Marshal going through the parade. And after they did that, then he went running off to this playground, and he played and played and played to his heart's content, because since he'd been sick most of his life, he didn't really get to be a little child and play. And that's what he wanted to do when he got to heaven. Then he morphed into an adult version of himself so that I could describe that and share it with his mother. It was so meaningful, so profound. I've never forgotten it. It just really imprinted deeply on me. So I want to do a fundraiser in his name to keep that name alive, because he deserves it. He shared so much love and light with this world. He truly was a little angel on earth. Just an amazing child. But the thing is, if I do a fundraiser on YouTube, they take a 30% cut of anything that comes in. And I can't do a fundraiser that they don't take a cut until I reach 10,000 subscribers. I've got to get to 10,000 subscribers so I can do that fundraiser. So please, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and ask your friends to subscribe. Let's get to 10,000 so we can honor this little boy, because he deserves it, and it would be an honor for me to do it. And I think everybody would be touched by his story. I'm hoping I can talk his mom into coming on and talking about him. I'm not sure if she's ready to do that, even though it's been, I think it might have been 10 years already. But that would be the ideal. So we can all send out positive energy that she would feel inspired to do that. It's something that's just been on my heart all this time to do. And I've been working towards it, but I'm not making much progress. So I need a lot of help to get there. Anyway, I diverged. Let's get back to your questions. We've still got about 20 minutes to go, you guys. Wow, it's amazing how much we're accomplishing tonight. I'm impressed with us. So Amanda, Bashar said that when women are in sync with the moon energy, they don't have to menstruate because they can release energy through moon energy, but he didn't elaborate. Now that's funky. Well, let's just ask that question. Is it true that when women are aligned with moon energy, they don't have to menstruate. No, that would be going against, the physical design. They don't menstruate and they're, in their fertile years, then that means the egg's not dropping and they're not having the opportunity at least to get pregnant. So that would be disrupting that natural design and it wouldn't make sense. Let me know if that helps or if there's more you want to explore there. Here's what brings up for me. A lot of people say that Metatron is Enoch from the Bible, that Enoch was this prophet, and when he died, he was blessed by being turned into Archangel Metatron. Well, that makes no logical sense when you think about it, because Metatron is the overseer, the scribe of the Akashic Records. We all come with Akashic Records. So that means until Enoch turned into Metatron, we didn't have Akashic Records? No, that's not true. We always had them. It was always designed that way. So it's not possible that Enoch is Metatron unless Metatron incarnated as Enoch, had that lifetime, and then went back. But when I asked about that, I got a big no, that wasn't one of his incarnations. He did come as Jesus. He did come as Yogananda. He did come as Muhammad. He came as Buddha. And there are others. He's come multiple times into a human life because he wants to further experience and understand us so that he can help us at the highest level possible. Now, right now, he's not in human form because he's got a big job to do with us moving towards Earthtopia, but he has in the past. So anyway, that's just what that brought up for me. You're not exploring the mystical side of life, and Linda Lang is the host. So if you found that, you found it. If you don't find it, shoot me an email. I'll send you a link. But that should bring it up for you. Allison, did you miss the response to Felicity's question? You might have. What I explained to her is that bird that's coming in, we had already talked about the birds that are coming in and what that means before she asked that question. So I encouraged her to look up the symbology of that particular bird to see if there was something beyond just the obvious of birds bringing a message and trying to get our attention. Because sometimes the symbology of the specific creature or flower or whatever it is very important to us unraveling the deeper truth and getting at what we're supposed to learn. So I always encourage you to do that and, go as deep as you need to go until you feel you've gotten the answer. And then, of course, write that down, see where it connects to what you've already gotten. And if it doesn't, just know that it will at some point. So just keep writing all that stuff down, saving it, because you will connect the dots. It's all purposeful. They wouldn't share these things if you didn't need to know them. But sometimes you're not going to get the fullness of it until you get the rest of the pieces that bring that part of the story out. Hope that makes sense. You are so welcome, Letty. Hey, Linda, great to see you. Can the clouds send messages with their shapes that can be interpreted? Great question. So, angels, helpers, whoever wants to speak to this one. Can clouds send messages through their shapes for interpretation? We know that they do, but is that purposeful when they create those shapes to get our attention? It's to stimulate your imagination because one person can look at a shape and see something entirely different than another. So it's not the specific shapes themselves, but it's just stimulating your imagination, helping you to connect with all that is. There's more out there to be explored. So it's enticing, exciting, just helping you to tap in, asking for more. Don't settle. You don't want to settle for surface level understanding. You always want to dive in and get more. Go for the gusto, the lusciousness, like when you're eating that juicy peach. You let the juice run down your face and your hands, and you just enjoy the whole thing, every little last bit of it. It's that gusto, that enjoyment. that exhilaration. So the clouds have a part in that, which is really cool. Thanks for asking. Allison, you thought the moon and tides were connected through gravity. Maybe you're wrong. Let's ask. So, is it true the moon and tides are connected through gravity? Yes, they are. Yeah. So, but that can be true, and it can still be true about the flow, the tides, the flow, the energy. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, reformat the question and I'll dig a little deeper and see what we can get. Because I don't always get what you're going for. So if you can articulate it for me, then I can specifically go for that information. That cuts to the chase. Adela, how do you connect with your spirit guides? You ask it, you intend it, you spend time with them. Meditation is the easiest way. But the truth is, Adela, you're already doing it. You're just not recognizing it. We all do it. We've done it all of our lives, done it multiple lives. So it's that little whisper, that feeling, that intention, the little things that come up, the inspired thoughts and ideas, the numbers, the repeating numbers, all of those things are your angels trying to get your attention. They will never stop. They will keep on doing it until you recognize it. Now, my book, The Path to Hearing Angels and Guides, is the fastest way I know to do that. That was a download from Archangel Metatron for the specific reason of teaching us how to hear them, because we need to. In this time we're moving into, we need all the help we can get. We need to be tuned in, tapped in, gathering all that information, having that two-way dialogue. That will change your life in the very best way. So it's on Amazon. Go take a look. And highly recommend it. It's also Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, it's free. And even if you don't, it's just a few dollars. So for the price of that book, you go through that program that Metatron created. It's a course. It's a whole course in a book. You learn how to do it. Then in the book, there is a link so that you can join the Facebook support group where you can ask questions. You can read other people's journey for inspiration. It's a fabulous support group. It will help you to get there so much faster. Yeah, you can do it on your own, but when you have that community supporting you, helping you along as you're learning, because we all started somewhere, we all had to do the baby steps and learn, but having that support and that help accelerates the journey because we all need to get there faster. That's the truth. So all of that, hopefully that helps. Amanda, you're welcome. Felicity, a second question was missed. Sorry. Sometimes it jumps and I miss things. How do light workers overcome discrimination when others try to block us from sharing our gifts? Oh, don't bother with them. Move on. Go with people who want to hear what you have to share. And when you do share, Metatron has talked about this a lot. It's important to use discernment. So you don't dump the whole Monty on them right away. You start out with just tiny little pieces, testing them to see how much they will tolerate or how much they're willing to listen to. And then you just kind of dole it out a little bit at a time as they're ready for more. You know, it's like teaching babies how to transfer from mother's milk to the various foods. They go through stages. As they're ready, finally they graduate to regular food. But they can't jump there all at once. It's too much for their digestive system. Isn't that a great metaphor? Yeah, so bit by bit, feed them. If they're hungry, if they're not, don't waste your time because you're just going to aggravate them and you're going to be engaging with a negative energy that pulls you down and it's just not where you want to be. So when they're not in alignment, not wanting to hear, just bless them and move on. That's the best thing you can do. Tammy, you were told to ground yourself. Should you be doing this every day through meditation or physically going outside, walking around, or both? Yeah, so this is for everybody because grounding is so important for all of us right now, which is why Gabriel gave me that amazing grounding meditation today. So if you missed that, Tammy, you'll be hearing more about it. So yes, you can ground through going out, putting your feet in the grass, connecting with earth. Absolutely. Touching trees. Go hug a tree, for instance. You know, hold their leaves, touch them, feel them, rocks. Touching things that are grounded of the earth will help you to ground. But you can also do it in meditation. So it takes many forms. The most common one is where you will see some kind of a bright white light, a column, a rope, a cord coming down into your crown chakra, moving through all of your chakras, exiting your root chakra, and then burying itself in the earth. And that way you're grounded between heaven and earth. Solid, grounded connection that will hold you safely as you go through whatever the experience is you're going through. So I hope that makes sense. Debbie, are the severe storms going to settle down from Texas to Canada? Let's do that one first. So the severe storms, Texas to Canada. Is it highly likely that they will settle down anytime soon? Yes? Oh, I was expecting a no, actually. All right. So how much longer can they expect this pattern of storms? Is it going to last until June? No, it's going to stop in May. Oh, that's good. All right. So by the middle of the month. So by the 15th, those storms are going to ease up. Okay. So there will probably still be some, but it's not going to be the severity that it's been going through. Of course, that could change, but that's what it is today. Will a balance between rain and sunshine return for the growing season? Well, that's going to be different in different parts of the country and the world. So is it highly likely that there will be more balance between the sun and the rainy season for the crops to grow? It's a mixed bag, Debbie. And of course, that's going to change depending on where you're at. It's going to be some here, some there. Here we have had for, I don't know, like the last 5 years, so much rain until July that the farmers stopped even trying to bale hay until July. And some don't get to it till August. By then it's overgrown, it's not as good, and it's just been crazy. So there are going to be shifting weather patterns because Gaia is still going through this whole process that is affecting the weather patterns. And by the way, those volcanoes, oh my, that's Gaia. Really, just it's like bursting and releasing all that pent up old negative energy is just flowing through those volcanoes. And it's been, pretty intense of late. So we're going to experience more of that. That's not done yet. But what we do is we stay in the flow, we stay in faith and trust, we put up our protective shields wherever we feel, led to do them, and ride it out. Just stay in the flow, ride it out, and know everything always works out for you in one way or another. Even though you can't see it in the moment, in the long term, it's always working out for you. Kelly says YouTube cheats you out of too much. Change donations to PayPal. Yeah, well, I have a Ko-fi account which people can use, but if you just do it through YouTube, it's 30%. But the thing is, if I'm doing a fundraiser like that, yeah, I could ask the organization, whichever one we choose, to give me their PayPal link and do it that way. That's how I did it. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago when I did that fundraiser for the women's shelter. It was really a pain in the you know what, because I had to be connecting with them. I didn't know what was going on. Whereas if I do it through the official channel with YouTube, they won't take any of that if I have 10,000 followers and I put it through as a fundraiser. That protects it. And it's much easier for me to keep track of and manage, and then I'm not having to do all the machinations with the organization other than letting them know what's going on. And if they want to come on and talk to us, do that as well. So from what I've seen of the people that are doing those fundraisers, it's way smoother and easier. So that's what it is. But what I'll do, thank you, Kelly, for bringing that up. I'll put the link to my Ko-fi account, Ko-fi, and anybody who wants to donate that way can do that. So I'll just put that in my videos going forward, and you can have that. I've been a little hesitant to do that, but you're right, I should do that. So thank you for the prompting, Kelly. I appreciate it. Hey, Beth, great to see you, Miss Ranch. Love the grounding. Yeah, it's so essential, especially now because there's so much that's just like ripping us out by our roots. We got to hang on for dear life. Kelly, clouds sent you shapes of airplanes before you made a great trip to England to meet your in-laws. Great trip. That is so wonderful. And in that time, you knew that you were spiritually aware enough to recognize it. That's phenomenal. Really wonderful. Isn't it so cool that as we go further in our journey and we understand more that those things are everywhere. It's like you can't turn around with running into a God wink or an angel synchronicity or a message. It's everywhere, which makes life so delightfully magical. I wish that for everybody that they could have that experience to understand it, to feel it, to want it and engage with it. Because oh my gosh, can you imagine how that would change the world? Yeah, let's all embrace more magic. Good news about balance from Texas to Canada. They've had droughts. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure what you were talking about because they've also had those awful tornadoes too, which has been so devastating. And a friend of mine who's down in the southern part of Texas, like near the coast, they were having massive flooding. So it's just a mixed bag. Beth, the best way to connect with guides and angels, I actually answered that a little bit ago. The fastest way is the book, The Path to Hearing Angels and Guides, because Metatron set it up for just that reason. It's a course, and I think you've already done that. So beyond that, it's practice, it's intention, it's follow through. Engage with the community, let them support you and help you to understand what it might look like if you get confused about it, because that's part of the journey is sorting out the wheat from the chaff. What's a message and what's just my ego playing tricks with me? So all of that is a journey. It's all there for every one of us. The angels are stepping up like crazy to help us through it. So we just got to show up and put in a little bit of effort, not even that much, but a lot of it is intention, showing up. That's huge. And Metatron said that in the book. When I asked him one time, he said, here I am. I'm ready, but you're not giving me anything. I'm sitting here for my allocated 15 minutes and I got nothing. And he said with a chuckle, the whole point of this exercise is for you to commit and show up. And then you will get the messages. And it was absolutely true. Happened that way. But some days nothing came through. Maybe I was too distracted. Maybe there was a purpose that I didn't get the message that day because they were trying to teach me that lesson. We're not the ones who leave you. You're always the one who leaves us. So if you're not getting the message, it's because you stepped away. You checked out. We didn't go anywhere. That's always true. They don't. They're always there. I missed Allison's message about, I didn't see that message. Can you pop it in again, Allison? Because I didn't see it. And gosh, we're almost at 8:30, so no more new messages other than Allison, so we can wrap up. Thank you, Kelly, for that. Hit the like button, please. Oh, let's see if this works. If I hold up 2 thumbs, will we get like something popping in the screen? Because I've seen people on video where they do that and these things all of a sudden show up, like balloons or I don't know, lots of thumbs or something, but not happening for me. So I don't know what the thing is all about. All right. This is weird. Remember I told you it told me to set my bit rate to low? Now it's telling me that it's higher than it's recommended. Well, I set it to low, so why is it higher? If anybody understands that, please clue me in. Because I'd like to keep it a steady signal. Oh, now you see when I lean forward, you see how it takes the background and puts it in my eyes? That is funky. I try to avoid that because it's, it might unnerve some people. It's a little freaky looking. Okay, where are we? Pamela, life is good. You're more and more connected with your guides and angels. Your mother and Robin, awesome. Musically, especially. Your imagination, you don't think so, but affirmation would be great. I'm not doing personal questions, Pamela, sorry. But yeah, absolutely. All of that is true. It's not your imagination. Beth, you have done that. Awesome. And Letty says she lives in Texas. Right before the storm, she sends light and protection to everyone in its path. That's beautiful. Thank you, Letty. That's what it's all about. It's just each of us doing those little things we feel led to do that can change so much for the world. My friend Elena, as a shaman, is out there going around re-energizing and fixing the grid lines and the ley lines in the earth, wherever she's led to do that. The angels will give her an assignment. She'll go out and do it. Practically nobody knows she's doing this, yet we're all benefiting from it because she is helping Gaia to realign and to be strengthened, energized. Then we benefit from that. So many people are out there doing those things that we don't even have a clue about. I'm encouraging them to please come share it because we need to know. And also in the sharing, you might inspire somebody else to join you. So yeah, we need to share this stuff, not keep it a secret. Debbie, this year's been too much rain. The past two were drought, so it's beautiful. Awesome. That's good with the hay, absolutely. So Allison, you're new to dragons. Tell us about dragon energy, how we can use it. And I think it says relate to it. I don't really know. I know I've had a cartoonish dragon show up in some of my meditations, but it's just a form that the guides will take or the angels will take sometimes because it's playful and it's a way to get a message across. But I don't think that's what you're talking about. So let's ask about dragons. For Allison and for everybody here, what can you tell us about dragon energy? It's real, it's palpable, it's there. And if it inspires or entices you, lean into it. Call dragons forth. Ask for their wisdom, for their guidance, because they have much to share. Having been in this realm for so many centuries, they've amassed a great deal of wisdom and energy. They will share with you. They will protect you if you ask them to. Some of you may even have a personal dragon. Anyone can have one if they ask. Just ask, one will come. And then get to know your dragon. If it has a name, get that. What it can do to help you, get that. And it can change over time too. As you develop the relationship with your dragon, just as you develop a relationship with the archangels or the guides that you work with on a regular basis, whoever or whatever that is, doesn't matter whether your guide calls itself Jiminy Cricket or, Azrael. Whatever they call themselves is fine, or nothing at all. They're there. They're working with you. It's their desire and their intention to help you in whatever way they can. Dragons are just another aspect of that. They just look different. And they have different perspectives because they've lived different lifetimes. So I hope that answers your question. Jilly, you love dragons and you have a dragon that's been with you many lifetimes. That is so awesome. Yeah. I think once you tune into them, you will probably always have that dragon with you because you will have formed that bond, that connection. It's just a matter of opening your eyes to the possibilities. If you find it delightful and enticing, then do it. And the same thing goes for elementals. If you are drawn to fairies and leprechauns and pixies, nymphs, leprechauns, any of those beings, you can communicate with them if you want to. Some of them are really a little more mischievous than you might want, but they are out there. They exist. They are real. Just because we don't see them with our physical eyes doesn't mean that they're not real. And, oh, this is cool. Remember I told you about that webinar on Wednesday? That's part of the stuff he's talking about, reconnecting with the elementals, being able to see them, being able to see auras. Now, I'm really curious. If you do that and you learn to see auras, can you turn it off? Because personally, I don't want to see them all the time, but I would love to see them when I want to see them. I think that would provide, more information to help us in our seeking to be better, to be more, to expand and faster. So I'm going to write myself a note to put the link to the video and the webinar in the pinned comment so you guys can come back and get that later if you're interested in going to that webinar. It's Wednesday. I forget what time, but it's Pacific time, so it's evening for me, like it might be 8 o'clock Eastern or something, but you get it when you go to the site and get the link. And it's about holography. So it's tuning in at a deeper level to our bodies, functioning at a higher level. It's really fascinating. So if you watch the video, give my friend Linda a thumbs up and leave a comment if you feel led to. Let her know how it goes. Because she's not able to go to the webinar on Wednesday. She's busy, but is really curious to know more about her herself. The conversation she had with this guy was really amazing. It was just like, whoa, I want more of this. All right, so what have we got here? Debbie says, yes, you can turn seeing auras on and off. Well, that's great to know. Thank you. I know all things are possible, but that's one of the things that held me back from pursuing that earlier because I'd love to do it, but I don't want to be stuck seeing it all the time. Years ago, I had this chiropractor who was teaching a webinar that I was in, and he was talking about this person who had always seen auras and was never able to not see them. So when they were doing things like, trying to read things on a chalkboard, it was really a challenge for them because the aura colors would get in the way. So that discouraged me, but yeah, I'm all for it now. Let's see what we can do. Jilly, you practiced to see auras and you were finally able to see your sons. That is so cool. Yeah. Well, maybe you want to come to this webinar and see how you can do it all the time. It almost feels like we got unplugged. We just need to get plugged back in. And that's what this webinar supposedly will provide to us. So I'm very hopeful it will be that. Allison, you connected with a dragon. Last month, you asked about orbs in your barn, and I told you they were playful. You gave them Reiki on your camera, and they got really active. Oh, that is so cool. You could hear them buzzing by. Yeah, do more of that. That's your imagination. That's your creative side. Lean into that. Play with it more because who knows where it will take you, what new discoveries that you will make and then share with others so they can have the experience as well. That is phenomenal. Thanks for sharing that. All right, you guys, I think we are at the end. So unless there's anything I missed that I need to attend to, I'm going to do a quick, they tickled your neck and face. Oh, that is so cool. Yeah. We have to do another session where we just talk about everything. So I think when we do that Gabriel meditation, we might be doing some of that. So look forward to that and watch for that link. It's probably going to be a couple of weeks because I've got to process it and there's a lot going on right now. All right, everybody. You are so welcome, Beth. Thank you for being a wrench. Thank you, Debbie, for being a wrench. I appreciate that. Thank you all for the donations. I deeply appreciate it. It's very helpful and very meaningful that you think enough to do that. I appreciate it. So let's just take a moment and do a quick little wind down before we go. Take a couple of deep breaths, close your eyes, sit back. Oh, feel that gratitude pouring through your body for the time that we have together because it is so valuable. It is so important. Our little community here is so incredibly valuable, more than we even realize right now. We will look back one day and realize how pivotal this was in the work that we will be doing, where we are moving into. Thank you, angels, teams, all of you for being here, for making this circle so wild, wacky, and wonderful, bringing the fun. I appreciate that. We need more fun. So important. Yeah, so go forth, enjoy, in love, in light. Share that wherever you feel led to share it because the world needs more. We need to abolish this us versus them attitude, replacing it, obliterating it with love. Divine love light to wash it all away, to bring us together in common purpose as we create Earthtopia together. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I will see all of you guys. Hopefully all of you will be there on the third Saturday for Ask Your Guides Live. That will be the Zoom call where I can see you and we will see what kind of exciting information comes through then. All right. Have a fabulous evening. Much love to you. Mwah. Bye, everybody.